Utah soldier blinded by a grenade 15 years ago in Afghanistan believes his Canadian-born attacker should spend the rest of his life behind bars. Instead, the Canadian government gave that former Guantanamo Bay prisoner an apology and a multi-million-dollar payment after a court ruled his rights were abused. New Specialist Jed Boal spoke with the Utahn, who fears that money is already in the hands of terrorists. Jed?
Yeah, Sergeant Lane Morris was the first Utahn injured in the war on terror. He was blinded by a grenade thrown by 15-year-old Omar Cotter in July 2002, a grenade that also killed Sergeant First Class Christopher Spear. Cotter pleaded guilty to that attack, but today, now 30, Cotter is free with a multi-million-dollar settlement, and that doesn't sit well with Morris.
I don't spend time thinking about Omar Cotter.
Lane Morris decided years ago to keep moving forward.
I'm not obsessed with Omar Cotter.
In the middle of remodeling, Morris tells me he does not know what kind of man Cotter has become.
His reward is that he's still alive.
But he knows what kind of teen he was July 27th, 2002.
A hardened and determined and disciplined terrorist who was determined to take to inflict as much damage on U.S. personnel and Canadian personnel as possible on his way out of this world.
U.S. troops captured Cotter after the firefight at that al-Qaeda compound. Cotter, jailed at Guantanamo a decade, pleaded guilty to war crimes. 7 years ago, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled his rights were violated. Today, the apology and the payout.
Every day he's on this earth is a bonus. And to say that he's owed anything further is just outrageous.
Disrespectful to Sergeant Spear's widow, whose lawyers tried unsuccessfully to block the money transfer.
The Canadian government has now funded extremist jihadist activities worldwide with that $10.5 million.
Believing terrorists already have that money.
It's inexplicable how someone in the government could think that's a good idea, knowing the history of this family. It just, it boggles the mind.
Courts previously awarded the retired Utah National Guardsman and Spear's widow more than $130 million in judgments against Cotter, money he never expects to see.
I didn't start the lawsuit to enrich myself.
He wanted to separate Western banks from terrorism and look out for the family of his comrade. Today, he's grateful to his own family for what they have endured.
My children are my heroes. They are resilient, and they've grown up with this.
Yeah, when Morris was injured, he was a father of young children. Now he's a grandfather enjoying this new chapter in life. The lawyers for Spear's family are asking the Canadian courts to freeze the payout to Cotter in light of the judgments against him. But it very well could be too late for that to take place. Mike?
Yeah, it looks like that's a possibility. Okay, Jed Boal live in the newsroom tonight. Jed, thank you. Deanie?
President